Hello! Welcome back
Hey,
for our next installment of our Worldbuilding Wednesday series. I'm once again joined by my lovely co-editor and
hello,
help for the World Anvil, junior world builder extraordinaire,
hello.
for our Worldbuilding Wednesday series that we rebooted last week to much of our enjoyment. How you doing, Kyle? What are you up
Good to
to
have you.
today? So yeah, we're continuing
Right.
what we did last week. So last week we
hmm
talked about the 7 regions of Osiris, which is our kind of hell plane in Quenthos of
hmm
our setting.
Where devils come from and
Exactly, it's where
oh,
the lawful evil resides. You know, retail.
hmm
Um,
hmm
and we had a very good chat about the different regions, and we ended it talking a little bit about what the hold for the Hell Knights is going to be called, which we settled on with a viewer poll on the Exalted Glade of the Black Oak. We're going to continue on the Exalted Glade of the Black Oak and what the Hell Knights order actually looks like, and what we're deciding to base it off of, and such like that.
hmm
So, video games, Kyle. What are you playing? What are you playing lately? Anything good? So
yeah.
specifically, first we're going to talk about the region of the Exalted Glade. So
hmm
I'm gonna bring this down here. Where this is our header for today. So
Yeah, which just to refresh anyone who wasn't here, I can't remember, it is located on one of the moons of Hell, well, of Osiris, which is a jungle moon, which is also the capital. I guess what you could call the capital region of Hell?
it's not so much the capital. I don't know if there
No,
is a capital of Osiris. It's where
no.
Dragor the Moon is specifically. It's a palace. So I suppose you technically could say it's similar to, it's like a large infernal hold.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
But
It's
where
a
the
jungle
rule, like
moon.
first amongst the rules of hell
Yeah,
sits.
it's where the person who resides over all 7 regions, the 7th regent of hell,
Yeah.
holds domain and holds court.
hmm
However, it's not. I wouldn't say there's much city there at all. I think we settled on that last time. There's like
Yeah.
There's
There's the
only 2
palace,
buildings. Like there's the palace, and then
which. But here's the thing. I imagine the palace is almost like a city in itself. Like it is huge.
oh
It is
yeah,
filled with like it's not just like it's like something on like the prime material plane. Like it is a massive,
no
infernal
god.
structure that rises above
Oh
the
yeah, it's
jungle.
definitely like it's cleared a lot of that jungle, and it's
Yeah.
yeah. We talked about demon monkeys. We did,
Yes. We've
but
yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's a largest like the entire
hmm
staff would live there. Like those
Yeah.
those infernals that are among there would live there.
Yeah.
So that being said, we had the other side of that. What the only other I was about to say establishment, which I know is just not the right word.
No. Structure, I guess.
The only other structure, that's a very, very good. The only other
Yeah.
structure is the Exalted Glade of the Black Oak, which is the name we've given to
Yeah.
our Hell Knights hold. So
Yep.
specifically what we're doing that is, one thing that is an important note of our setting and how it works is that there is something on the prime material called the Woad. It is a large enchanted forest that is meant to serve as like a highway between every realm of existence. So logic then dictates it will have a bit of its hold, a bit of the Woad, will stretch into the infernal realm of Osiris. So the Black Oak itself is the heart tree of Osiris.
The evil inverted version of the heart tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
devil ants.
demon ents. They're
Demon and devil
definitely
ants.
fiendish ents that roam
Fiendish
around.
ants.
Which, as I think it'd be kind of cool to almost have like an inverted version of the woad in at least like the immediate area in terms of like almost that sentient forest
Okay.
surrounding the exalted glade.
So
Like maybe not the whole moon, but definitely sort of
no,
in
no.
that region because it's like the heart tree's influence is controlling and shaping that area.
Okay, so we know some of the abilities of like the Woad. It can shift its own like pathing around to make it so that it can't be cut down. It can rust weapons around it. What do you imagine the infernal version of that is like then? What abilities do you think the Woad of
That's,
Osiris has?
yeah, I mean, I imagine it's something a lot more malevolent. Like which the word itself can be very malevolent. It can be very harsh, and cruel to anyone that it dislikes for whatever reason. But I imagine this almost could be a lot more hostile and directly hostile towards, like, like people being sort of torn to shreds by sort of roots from sort of twisted trees, grabbing them.
Okay, so
But
I think
something
under
it's just
abilities,
something like an evil forest.
I
Yeah,
don't
or even
think
melting the weapons. Melting the weapons could be kind of cool. Instead of just straight up rusting them, just straight up just melting them, turning them into sort of molten. I think that'd be
the
kind of
weapons
cool.
used.
That's a cool idea, actually.
You know what I like is creeping vines surround the. How would you explain? Creeping vines around the forest floor that are actually like. So, for example, we have in our setting that the
Ooh.
woad identifies people by their blood, but normally waits for
Mhm.
someone to come in and sacrifice a bit of their blood to see who they are and see how their relation with it is. I like to imagine that these vines, like the thorns of Osiris, like
Yes.
they have like a tremor sense where they go for things and will only stop pursuing if they've got the blood of someone who is.
But all of these infernal vines that run around the glade of the Black Oak all connect to the Black Oak. They are all part of it, and it's almost like the sensors that it sends out in the immediate area to sort of detect anyone.
So it works as a tremor sense. Tremor sense.
Yeah, tremend.
Tremor end. Only stopping pursuit of an unknown entity after it has identified its blood. So once it knows the blood, it knows the person, I can decide, are we friends? Are we not friends? Am I going to kill you? Am I going to send the knights at you?
And I respond, are you a friend of the knights? Are you just here on business? Are you just here on business trying to reach the keep?
What's the nature of your visit? Business or pleasure?
Yeah. Well, hell.
Hell, so pleasure.
Pleasure. Of course. Especially pandemonium.
So, pursuit, let's just correct these. And
I'm curious, did you have any ideas for the sort of forest around it? For anything in that direction, or?
I'd like to imagine that. So one of the abilities of our woad is that it can actively Mr. Crackle from the snowy area. Are we talking about the lord of that area? The lord of the frozen lord? I can't say I do.
Hang on. Are you talking about from the Yosgrin campaign, like the swamp guy? What was his name?
Oh, that
Creepy
dude.
as fuck.
What was that? I don't remember.
Carter,
you're referring back to the Viking campaign.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But
Okay.
let me just pull this up for you, Des. Let me just go through my
What
notes
was
here.
his name? I think it began with a K.
Kyrian.
Kyrian. Oh, Kyrian was cursed.
Kyrian is cursed, so it probably belongs here.
Look, you're not
but you know
far
what?
off.
Actually, I kind of like the idea, like almost forming out of blood. There can be a manifestation of the Black Oak that can appear as like people enter into the glade. This manifestation from blood appears in order to judge them.
Oh, so it's not the thorns, but what shape would it appear as? Because I don't want to just have a humanoid shape.
The thorns drain the blood, which then forms into this.
Okay, so blood drained by thorns formed apparitions. If hostile.
If hostile, or even if not hostile, it still does it because it's this malevolent entity. That's.
Well, it still has. I suppose. Would it just consider everyone hostile? Unless you're one of.
Unless you have like a. I imagine that like the Hellites would, in this case, there would be a system where anyone coming and going would have a certain.
Oh, imagine this. So all the Ilrigers, the Hell Knights, they summon Steed, but their summoned Steed is a elk of the Black Oak, and that's how they get through. Because even Like even
That's kinda cool.
their
But then
transportation, like they have
then
to
I feel
ride the elks of the Black Oak, or
yeah.
like the Black Oak will attack them.
Look, rest in peace for any that don't have Fine Steed, but yeah,
Find Steve. Talk.
Fine Steve. Fuck's sake. I kind of like that though. And I think like there would be obvious exceptions made for like one of the regents of hell that were coming to visit.
No, I would say it would literally just be down to the Lord of the Thicket is the only one that is not hostile to you.
Ooh, okay.
Like it's a natural, like, because remember, the Lord of the Thicket doesn't really have a standing army. But why do you need a standing army when the entire moon is your army?
Well, that could almost be, the reason why no one leaves the palace.
Yeah.
Why there's just this one palace city on the moon. Which actually, I'm curious, Des, just to backtrack a little bit here to last week, something I was meaning to ask, how do people get from the moon to Osiris? Is it like a teleportation system set up, or?
That's a very good question, and one that I'm wildly surprised you asked.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, I was meaning to ask this last week.
I imagine you're summoned to the moon, to the palace. Like, now there's like obviously teleportations. Each region would have an asset. Like when their court is summoned, they have like a teleportation circle in their own holds to get there. However, the actual like the rank and file of devils, they don't, like, again, this is why names are so important. I think every devil that goes to the processing moon, your name is recorded for the hall of names, or whatever you want to call it, inside the palace. And if your true name is invoked by the Lord of the Thicket, you will get brought to the palace.
Ooh, okay, I like that. I like that a lot.
Because it's like, you only get brought to the palace if you're either working there or you done fucked up.
Yep. Like, it's not some way that you'll just get called to. Just, you can call in for a quick, school excursion type of thing.
It's like, can we get a stone to go?
Yeah. Do they do coffee here? Yeah, because I was going to say, I imagine that the Knights of the Black Oak would almost in their hold have like a system set up, like a teleportation system set up that would allow them to reach any of the regions in hell.
Yes, of course. They definitely would have like
something that sends them back up as well, like an easy, like if they're on the main body of Osiris, then they can just teleport back up.
Well, there's what's the spell? Word of Recall. They hit B on the keyboard and just go back.
That's a very good question, actually. That is a spell that exists. I completely forgot that one there exists.
Have I DM'd? Not even once.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that, though. I like that. There could be something, like a system similar to that.
Apparently Grammarly is saying I shouldn't call the crown jewel for the main lord of the hells. I should call it the paramount lord of the hells. I just prefer that. That's
cool. The paramount lord of the hells. Look at you go. Being all fancy there. Yeah, what were we talking about before that?
So,
slightly sidetracked.
The Thicket can
but
be
yes, in terms
traversed.
Of the past, the Black Knights, I imagine, part of the ritual of becoming. Should we mention the name, or is that something we're getting to in terms of the?
We'll get into that. So the Knights of Osiris, the Knights of the Black Oak. So the Thicket can be traveled by the Lord of the Thicket, or as part of induction. Or
I was going to say, I imagine when they become inducted into the order, part of that is summoning the steed for the first time and becoming bonded in a way to the Black Oak.
Oh, how about we put it as something like a thorn from the heart tree is actually placed into the heart of the.
Oh, and it stays
there.
Blackout. It stays there.
Oh, I like that.
There's permanently a thorn that just embeds itself. It sinks into the flesh and just stays there.
How would the players get up there? They would beg, borrow, or steal a teleportation circle from an Arc Devil, or they would find one of the Hell Knights and try and...
How would the players get up there? That's
or,
a very good question.
To answer that question very well, tune in this Sunday, because we are starting a mini-series called Into Osiris. This is where our world building has started off of this, and it is a story about 3 level 15 characters making their way into Osiris to retrieve a codex that is allowing devils free transportation between the material realm and the realm of the 7 regions.
Yeah,
so that is going to be an obstacle the players are actually going to have to overcome. If they want to get up here, they're going to have to find a way.
And we mere mortals will just have to work it out, I guess, as we go.
Look, you mere mortals are going to have to beg, borrow, or steal a method up.
Or else, just make sure to take teleport and just, I'll be up there.
So, as part of the induction into the Exalted Glade of the Blackout, the Knights have a Thorn of the Heart tree embedded into their own heart to grant the ability. Grant the... someone...
And then it's that thorn that allows them.
Yeah, that thorn. So the way I'm kind of wording it is so they don't just have like a free summon steed whenever. It's the
but in turn they almost become like the caretakers of the glade.
Yeah, exactly.
Itself.
Like wow.
They're the only ones in Osiris that can just wander through it.
Exactly, but I think a big key thing here is like for a mechanical thing, if someone was wanting to play one of these, you can only summon the Elk of the Black Oak while in Osiris.
Yep. Yeah.
It is not something you can just do on the prime material, because the Black Oak, the Heart Tree, and the Woad of Osiris does not give a fuck if you want an Elk of the Black Oak on the prime material. No.
I imagine it may be given as like a boon, or if you're on like a particular mission on the prime material plane, that it could be given to you with granting powers down, but just not handed out to everyone. No. To any one of the knights that's found their way onto the prime material.
Now, any knight in Osiris can summon one, but not any knight on the prime material can have one.
That is such a cool image though. Like in a land in one of the regions like Pandemonium, just this knight on a black elk like that, just riding across all of like the ash and storm and everywhere, going.
I'd let a player re-flavor, because imagine this, like the Jorahkeen race we have, you're a full blue skin Jorahkeen, all the runes tattooed on you, sleeveless armor, so you just have like full plate armor, and you're just on an albino elk with massive horns and red eyes, and you're just there. That's fucking cool. Like one arm is on the reins and 2 of your arms are on like a great bow, and the other one just has a great sword like up on the thing. It's just like,
that's fucking cool. Come on, Des, you can't tell me that. You know exactly what I'm.
Just imagine the imagery that evokes.
That's really cool.
It is. It's pretty cool. It's pretty darn cool. And I'm a fan. Oh, thank you. Chocolate delivery from Sharon.
Oof. Yeah, do they have chocolate in Osiris though? That's the real question. That's
only
the question everyone's hanging on to. Only the palace. The Ashen Lord actually is much more of a fan of candy, Not a huge chocolate.
If I saw that, I also I would feel my throat drop out my asshole and I would just die on the spot. Like, what else do you do? This motherfucker with 4 arms is great bow, great sword, and just like one arm on the range, just
yeah.
And this elk just
over their flesh.
Hey, Corsairs Cove, raiding with a party of 15.
Hey.
How are you guys doing? I saw you guys were playing a little bit of D&D. I popped in to see what you guys were doing. How did it go? Did anyone die?
Hopefully not.
Let's see what you guys. You were doing your mutants thing, weren't you? Also, hey Daria.
Hey Daria, how you doing?
So how did it go for you guys? What's up? You died,
Oh,
Daria?
you
Good.
Died.
Very good. Very good. Well
Look, it's
deserved.
just a small
Well
preview
deserved.
before Monday session, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're talking about the Knights of the Black Oak in our setting. We're doing a bit of world building, and we're going through the imagery that it would so evoke, like very much so, like these infernal knights that are ready to fuck your day up on a whim.
Yeah.
But it's quite cool.
Yeah. So each of these knights, these infernal knights, rides upon a black elk. Massive
elk of the Black Oak, or any elk
Yes.
you wish. An albino elk with red eyes, a
Yeah.
red elk with
So long as it
albino
looks-
eyes.
So long as it looks suitably spooky. and
Suitably
evil.
sinister. Also,
Yeah, suitably
this is a
sinister.
good moment for us to talk about. For people watching, we're now releasing some classes, subclasses, races, sub-races on our Patreon. The first one is free now for the next, until the end of August, I believe, is what I'm going to set it as.
Yes. Yep.
The College of the Brass Lungs. It would mean an awful lot of us if you would go check that out. It is free on the Patreon. You don't have to subscribe. Just go in and have a look. Let us know what you think in our Discord, whatever. It'd mean the world. We even got some little art for it done by our very own Daria, who is in the chat right now. Say hi, Daria.
Fantastic.
But yeah, if you could check that out, that would mean an awful lot, mean the world to us. Be really cool. Just check what we're starting to put out in like terms of homebrew content. Expect to see some races coming next.
Free content. Yeah.
Free content.
Free content.
It's a bard. Shadow step it. Yeah, you just shadow step to death, Kyle. Just expire.
There's no running from this. There's no running from this.
You don't run from a Knight of the Black Oak. You just lay down and wait for death.
While you're still in a Cirrus, there is no running from it.
That would actually be a cool thing to talk about their abilities. If, like, let's say we were talking a little bit briefly about in the processing center that there's like the Hall of Names.
Yes.
Where every devil's true name is placed on some form of like something.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if it got to the stage where like a big thing of like we're talking the Knights of Osiris, the Knights of the Black Oak are like the judge, jury, executioner of these scenarios. So like upon like the arrival and thing and the condemnation, it's like they take the name off the name of walls. It's like I'll strike your name from history itself, and like they have a locate creature almost sense, but like what's that? There's a spell I believe that can allow you to locate creature on a plane of existence, and you can kind of pinpoint it. I can't remember what.
Like that though, they can take one of the names off and then they have the location of that.
Yeah, and they basically can track based on the name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like Terminator style.
Yeah. And it's like, oh look, you've tried to run to the Frontier plane. I'm gonna chase you down. I know where you are.
Yeah. Oh, there is no running.
There is no running.
Imagine it even comes like they get to like someone escapes the Celestial Realm and just the Hell Knight shows up and it's like, I have jurisdiction here.
Yeah.
You're holding
a fugitive.
Fuck,
that's cool.
To deny me is to declare war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although then we have to kind of not worry, but talk about our in our cosmology, which one have amnesty laws? Like which ones
Yeah.
Imagine.
Amnesty. God. Look, there are some places though which I imagine would be pretty good for hiding.
I imagine the Celestial Realm would help you hide from, or if you manage to get there, they would not turn you over to a devil unless you'd done something to the angels.
I imagine the what's it called? What's hell called? Not hell.
The Abyss.
The Tower of the Abyss.
Yeah, I imagine they would be like, yeah, fuck you.
I imagine they don't really give a fuck. It's like, yeah, sure, you can hide here, but cool.
But I imagine if the Hell Knights tried to come up and they're like, you need to release this fugitive to me and be like, bro, you can fuck off. I don't give two shits what you're looking for.
Like, I'm not going to protect them if you're looking for them, but like, I'm not going to raise a finger to help you, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, fucking
have fun.
Live or die by your own merits. Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the region. What other abilities? Do you think any other cool abilities we can think of for it?
I mean, we can always come back to it, but...
We can always come back to it.
I almost like... Actually, we can discuss that later in terms of the structure of the order itself. But I almost like the idea of one of the main knights at least being able to almost have like almost be connected to the heart tree and be able to use its sense of the glade around it, of the forest around
sort
it.
of similar to like let's say there's
I
an
don't say like I don't
actual.
wanna say plugged. I don't wanna say plugged into the tree, but very much like yeah,
I
like
get what you mean, kind
thorns
of like
entering into its veins and like connected into
no,
it.
but like literally
Like
sitting like we could have the throne of thorns where like one of the lead knights just sits down and lets all the thorns like pierce into it, and rather than summon an apparition of blood, his own or her own blood can surge very quickly across all the thicket that's on the forest floor and the jungle floor, and basically gain that tremor sense.
yes, and then they're the one that appears to people, and that is what appears. It's whoever is connected.
Oh, that's. You really
That's
don't
cool.
run from these fuckers, do you?
No, and I think that's one of the main things that we need to like create is that they are an incorruptible group of basically the judges of hell.
I like that a lot. I like the fact that they're double cheeked up of a Tuesday and no one's getting away.
Oh, fuck's sake.
No, but like they're just so like. I think the big thing is if you were to try and fight one of these guys or girls or any of these people,
you would need to do it on a different plane. Like you can't.
No, you can do it there, but it's just like very much so. I wanted to feel like you've accidentally caught yourself in like one of Dave Filoni's hallway scenes and you hear breathing coming. It's just like, oh no, just.
Yeah.
It's like there's a hallway scene happening. Do these trees look a little bit like a hallway?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Are we
sword just ignites in fire, and you're just like, no.
Yeah.
Just slit your own throat.
Are we main characters here? Fuck.
I don't think personally speaking, the Knights of the Blackout give a fuck if you're a main character.
No, anyone's equal time.
They'll straight up season 1 and 2 Game of Thrones you in that and just be like,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck who you are. Yeah. I think that's cool.
Send your simulacras into that. Don't send yourself. But then realize you've accidentally given your blood and now they can track you.
And they've got your name.
And they've got your name.
Can't run. You can't run.
Yeah,
they will always find you. I like that.
It's like that thing, like you could have $1 million, but there's a snail that's always chasing you, except this snail can move.
And this snail can move fast, and it looks absolutely terrifying.
God, I just want to see a Jorkeen atop an albino elk.
Okay, Des, okay, stop saying this. You know I'm gonna do it, alright? Stop it.
It's just so
Stop
cool.
giving away my character idea, okay?
Okay, so what are we touching on next? We've got the region, we've got the effects. I think we have capital E effects for this region.
Yes, I think the hold itself is something we should actually look at. Like,
okay,
is it sort of built around the Black Oak, or is it like built into the Black Oak and almost expanding out of it? That's something I was trying to picture. Because this is like one hell of a big tree, so it could easily be, built into it. But I kind of like the idea of it almost sort of circling around it and sort of built
I imagine
like formed around it. But
yeah, I don't think it doesn't cover it. Like the Black Oak is to the sky limit, but I would imagine that it's like a lot of like obsidian style architecture that's built in like a ring around it. So it's like while it's like a symbiotic relationship where the Black Oak protects them, but they also protect the Black Oak.
Yes, like it's almost like well, as you said, all these big obsidian structures surrounding, almost forming a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a fortress around.
Fortress around it that has like buildings within. But I imagine that the Black Oak itself is not inside any buildings. But I would like to imagine that at the Black Oak there is just like at the base of it a large throne made of thorns that you can just.
And this is like and of course there's an umbrella at the top in case it rains. I mean, you can't even get away.
We're not barbarians.
Yeah. There's just a small imp there at all times, just holding a parasol.
Okay. So we
I
talk.
like it though.
So it's
Which I imagine that in terms of the actual building itself, it would be, despite having the natural defenses of the forest around it, it would also be very much an intimidating fortress.
oh yeah, I imagine
in
these are
its
like.
construction.
I don't imagine there's any soft walls. I imagine it's like a lot of hard angles. Like these are like
Yeah.
like. Oh, you know what we could actually do it as? Rather than any like structures, there is going to be one leader per region. So we could have it like there's 9 towers connected by walls.
Ooh, okay.
So 9 obsidian towers.
There's 9 obsidian towers formed around the heart tree, and then there's almost walls connecting them, and then there's sort of, I'm just trying to like explain it, but there's almost like a courtyard formed around the oak, which then connects them all as well.
Yes.
I like that. I like that a lot.
What do I have to do to get a sentient bucket in this world? If on head must make a wisdom save or higher than 15. If successful player gains 3 int and 2 wiz, but on a fail, must wait 1 day to have movement and one day and have movement halved or lose control of character. Can only attempt to save after campaign day.
Yeah, it is. What would it take?
What would you have to do for me to put a bucket on one of the characters' heads? That's an interesting question.
A sentient bucket.
Tell me how the bucket became sentient. Is it a true polymorph bucket? Like, what's the deal with this bucket? Tell me. Give me this bucket's backstory, then I'll make my decision.
If you sell the bucket to us,
sell me a bucket.
Yeah. Sell me a sentient bucket, and we can make a deal with that.
That's such a goofy item. I love
such
it.
a stupid thing, but I love it. What were you saying? Yeah, in terms of the structure, yes.
So I'm thinking the courtyard itself, to not disrupt the vines, is almost like a grated mesh, where like the courtyard doesn't actually like.
What if it is almost just like a complete maze of the vines, and then that is the floor of the courtyard? Like, it's so thick, the vines are so thick that it almost is just a floor.
I don't hate it, but you know the kind of like the mesh that people put up a wall so vines and such can grow up it? I was thinking that kind of like an iron mesh floor that the thorns are able to move freely through.
Okay, yeah. I see that. Yeah. Just trying to picture in my mind. That could be kind of cool.
Because I don't want to just have the entire moon is covered in these thorns. What makes the courtyard special? That
what if there is no bucket was created by a demon to take control of the creature and the bucket's come to control?
That just sounds like you got yourself a character backstory then.
It sounds
you
like
are the
cool
bucket.
You are the bucket. I love that though.
Wait, you don't level up, you just put the bucket on the head of different deceased people?
Oh, fuck.
You can only become stronger when you've killed someone stronger than yourself. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning to. I don't know what the I don't want it to just be like a marble courtyard, because the entire thing is like, if all these thorns extend from the black oak, everything needs to be able to connect back to the black oak. That's why I kind of have this idea of like...
What if there almost is no courtyard?
Oh, what if we go like a raised courtyard?
I say it's all raised. And it's almost like sort of bridges connecting them as well. Completely off the ground.
Raised courtyard of bridges.
And then the only thing on the ground is just the small structure housing the throne. Or even just the throne itself. Like, I imagine it's this huge throne made out of the black oak itself.
Okay. So the only thing on the ground is the throne of thorns. So it can sit on to take control of the Black Oak senses. Mm-hmm. Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to keep talking about Azure Hakim in this situation, but it's the hypothetical character I started with.
I hate this. I hate this. You're giving away my character ideas. My next character is just being handled.
I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Seja? I'm not sure. That sounds like a very cool idea for a character backstory. I'm not gonna lie, that would be an interesting one to be like, if you're playing like a Ascendant campaign where like it's to try and take down a god. It worked very well in the Evil campaign. Literally be a demon bucket. That's a very cool character idea.
But Des, to put that bucket in the world, what would it take?
A tier 3 sub to the OnlyFans. No, not the Twitch, the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Of course, we're classy.
Yeah, naturally.
But no, put that in this world. I don't know. I could see it as something a demon would definitely do to fuck with someone. I think that's like a very demon deal. But I don't know. What are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to sign your soul away for to get this in the world?
Are you willing to sign your soul away?
We're talking devils. Let's make a contract.
Look, all we need is a social security number and the 3 numbers.
We need your mom's credit card, her maiden name, the 3 gamer numbers on the back. Oh, we're such hard memers sometimes.
But yeah, I think the raised courtyard is a really good thing, and this is this massive throne on the ground.
Yeah. But imagine that, like, the thorns themselves, like, they're not just stuck to the ground, like, they almost wrap up and go to the, like, they can hit the tremor sense on the bridges. So, going back to the Jordan Keen character, imagine it's just, like, all 4 arms, like, spider-like movement down to the throne. Because that's the thing, the Jorkin in their own library move like spiders, using all their 4 arms to, like, propel themselves through the stacks. Imagine just using that to traverse down to the thorns, and then...
Yeah.
Oh, just imagine this sick imagery. So, for people who are watching, we have a race called the Jorkin, that's going to be on the Patreon soon, .tm. But they wear, like, a mask because they don't have any, like, eyes of their own that can see. They see through psionics, of the way the weave of the magic wraps around the world. So imagine he just takes off this mask, tilts his head back and lets the thorns crawl into his own eyes until it pierces the sockets.
That's cool.
And just the Doom soundtrack starts playing for the people in the forest.
Raw dogging the thorns. Yeah.
Raw dogging the thorns in your eye socket.
Oh, that's fucking nasty.
It just sounds so cool. I would love to see a character who's like an ambitious knight of the Blackout.
I would love to see a Jorkin. Yeah, with Jorkin.
I would love to see a Jorkin. Perhaps played by you, Raph.
You wouldn't happen to be thinking of playing a character like that, would you?
Maybe. We'll brainstorm it.
Let me just keep talking about these ideas to all the viewers.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you talked about how someone would possibly get to the moon. All of your dumb ideas. I don't know if I can hold that much at once. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, Des is very used. They're very used to listening to all of our dumb ideas, so I reckon you can take them.
Yeah, look, sacrifice your dumb ideas. Let's go. But no, so
look, it's not called Worldbuilding Wednesdays for a reason, you know.
No,
Worldbuilding Wednesdays and dumb ideas.
Dumb ideas, Thursdays.
So in terms of each of the 9 towers, I imagine, like, in terms of what they do, like, they house the knights and the equipment, you know, the armories and stuff needed for the knights on each of the 9 regions. There would also be, like, you know, like, libraries in each of these, detailing information about...
On the region.
However, I also mentioned that I almost think there also needs to be, like, a center one, which is to do with, you know... Because that's the thing, is they all operate outside of hell as well.
Oh, I get you. So it could be more than 9 towers.
I was going to say, like, almost like a 10th tower.
See, Raph, I love that idea, but if you look at our cosmology document, you realize we have 9 planets.
I know, but here's the thing, is that most of the planets they would be sent to, in terms of other planets, would be the prime material.
True. I don't know.
So it makes sense for there to be... I don't know, but I mean, you can even do it in terms of...
Thanks for the follow session.
Hey, thank you so much.
I don't... Tell me how I meant to pronounce it. Type that phonetically for me.
Yeah. Seja streams?
Seja? I don't know.
Seja?
Type it phonetically.
But yeah, in terms of that, I mean, I guess you're right. There is a lot of planets that they could be going to.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is like prime material is an awful lot of information, but I imagine like each Asia?
Ziaja.
Yeah, I should. Okay.
Ziaja.
We're probably still pronouncing it wrong. We're dumb.
Yeah,
If you
probably
haven't realized this yet.
definitely
Yeah. So
right, yeah.
what I imagine is like these 9 towers are like, they're not like small towers by any means. Like they are large. They are in charge. They've like not all the towers like dedicated to that region. Because think about like if these people house like recruits and act as like a small army, I don't imagine there's like hundreds of these knights, but I imagine there could be like a fair few dozen. So I imagine these things are like all of them at the bottom would have like each would have identical facilities in terms of like on the ground floors like training facility, housing facility, like dining facility.
Yep, and like records, sort of admin type of stuff. Because they are also the judges, so they do have records on previous cases of whatever it's going on in the house.
Also, I imagine all the walls that connect them are traversable through the walls. Like you can, like they're like corridors, not like.
Yeah.
But now I'm just never going to confirm it to just trap you here. Like, why would you say you can't leave until confirmed adoption of the bucket? Like,
you're just permanently locked into our streams now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Locked in. Permanent viewer. Congratulations. You played yourself.
May as well join the Discord while you're at it.
Yeah, just join the Discord. Just AFK there. That should work now. I did change that.
You changed that? Okay.
Recheck it. Just see if that still works.
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. Yeah, that is working.
Okay,
yeah,
so
perfect.
The connection of these towers, like I imagine, like I would actually say the walls that connect them could be libraries. These like vast long corridors.
Or think about almost as hear me out though. We've said that there's an elevated level, like in terms of elevated courtyard. What if that almost houses the library there?
Oh, the elevated bridges? So we just take in the bridges.
The elevated bridges that lead into the middle courtyard each have like a library to it. But they could almost have like rooms expanding off of them.
Okay, courtyard connected by bridges.
Hey, welcome to the Discord, both of you.
Welcome to the Discord within the courtyard.
Yeah. And then there's like small side rooms that sort of pocket off the bridges and stuff, which contain the different archives and everything.
You best wait until the bucket's confirmed, don't worry. Yeah. Many smaller structures, such as libraries and jails. Because, like, would they keep someone there?
I almost feel like they would be almost in the roots of the Black Oak itself. There would be the cells.
No, because I don't. Oh yeah.
I need to leave. I have a campaign to run. Well, thank you for calling in before your campaign.
Thank you for calling in.
Good luck.
You know, we will confirm it upon the usage of a prime. If someone uses prime in the chat, I will confirm or deny whether it's in. Imagine.
Sneaky.
This is pay to win.
But good luck with your campaign.
Good luck with the campaign. What are you running? Is it homebrew? Is it about a bucket? Tell me it's about a bucket.
You better have a bucket in there.
Better have a bucket.
How much would it take you to put a bucket in your world like that?
Wait, are you? Let him just put a wink in that chat there if you're currently being controlled by a bucket.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute. This sounds like a bucket trying to gain more sentience. The bucket hive mind.
But no, that's really cool. Always like to hear other world-building ideas. Yeah.
So we got libraries and jail. You think a jail?
I think almost like amongst the roots, and that's what forms like the cells is like the roots, the thorns, and the roots of the Black Oak.
I don't know how I feel about that because if we enjoy running, I don't know if I like the jail to be down among the roots if that's where we're putting the throne of thorns. Like,
no, I mean like under the ground.
Oh, underground. Okay.
I mean like underground, in like the ground itself with the roots of the black oak like shaping the cells, and the vines are like what restrain people in place there, draining their blood.
It has varying cells for punishments.
Well, I feel like there's a cell beneath each of the 9 towers, corresponding to which one of them has.
I would almost say there's not one under each of the 9 towers. It's underneath everything to signify the unity of the Black Oak.
Okay, yep, I like that.
Like,
I like that.
while we are
I realized
9,
as I said it.
we are
Yeah,
9
I realized
knights
as I said it.
protecting Osiris, but we are one.
Yep.
Like, at our core, at our roots, we are one.
Yeah, because it's also important to know is that while there are the knights here at the 9 towers, there's also the knights who are located in each of the 9 regions as well, which are there on a more permanent basis, presiding over everything going on, or undergoing cases.
The ones who are very, very busy. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. So, what else could we put in this? So let's capitalize this. So we have the underground, we have the overground, we have those varying cages. I don't know what the correct term would be for them. I don't know what we call the jail. What do you imagine the surrounding area? I like the idea. I want to do something with the walls that connect, whether it's libraries or what. I want to have something like these corridors that connect the 9 towers that form around. What connects.
I like there being almost like bridges, but almost like covered bridges, almost like separate little things in themselves.
What is in these bridges? Like just windows out into the outside, or like? Because these people don't really have much. Their square footage of their home is not the best because of this Black Oak. So I don't think they're very efficient in how they manage. I don't think they have any dead space. They have no unused space. So I'm trying to think, what do we put in the... Let's make it trophies.
Thorn bridges, that's cool actually. Yeah, of course there'd be like thorns wrapping around.
Oh yeah, thorns wrap around everything.
Trophies, in terms of the bridges themselves.
Not the bridges that connect to the courtyard, the bridges and corridors that connect the towers.
Yes. Almost like tapestries that detail the deeds of the Knights of the Black Oak.
Oh.
Or like some form of like display where that's like, could even like stained glass windows that sort of depict the deeds of the knights. And that could be kind of cool.
Okay. Depicting the founding of the Knights of the Blackout. Okay, I prefer like stained glass because my only issue with doing stained glass to talk about the tales of them is it's like, what happens when a new tale comes in? Do they like knock out a window pane? But if we have like a stained glass like storyboard almost, where it's just like how the order came to be.
Yeah. I like that a lot actually.
Wait. So what else can we put in?
Is there anything in terms of the overall structure we haven't discussed?
Not particularly. We've covered very well around the outskirts and what we imagine the buildings themselves look like. Do you want to talk about the towers? Like, what would we imagine the structure of these towers to look like? Because we obviously have these 9 obsidian towers. But
that's the thing. Is like, I think as in general, like kind of like I was putting it before, each one of them is like is very much like, although you've got the natural defenses of the forest, each one of them are very imposing defensive structures. Like, there is no glamour or sort of ornate design to the exterior, at least. They are imposing, they feel imposing, and they are imposing. Like, even if you were to try and attack one of them, it would be difficult. They are easy to defend. They are fortresses in their own right.
So I have each tower are imposing defensive structures with no glamour or filigree to the outside. The imposing obelisks stand as an impenetrable defense to the black oak.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Filigree. Apparently it does not know how to spell filigree. Filigree, there we are. Okay. Few corrections. All right, we're typing a little bit more today. Obviously, we typed a little bit less last week to but listed with each region's element. That's interesting. Not each region has an element, though.
And I feel like we're trying to keep it so there is the sense of the unity of the order. Like, no matter what region it is they look over, they have solidarity and unity in their function.
Yeah, there's like a unity to it. Definitely makes
I mean,
overall vibe
they could have something relating to each of their regions.
I imagine it'll be on the upper levels of each of the 9 towers, though.
Well, do each of the 9 towers have like a separate symbol denoting which one of the knights is from, or is there like even just a symbol that the knights have? The Black Oak.
Imagine it is
the Black Oak.
The Black Oak is the obvious answer there, isn't it?
It is the obvious answer.
I suppose you could do something similar to like you have the symbol as like the Black Oak with 9 thorns wrapped around it.
Ooh. 9 like thorny vines wrapped around it. I like that a lot, actually.
What else could you do?
Otherwise, like, I'm not sure. Is there anything
we could go with the elves?
Anything we could put in for the towers themselves?
To answer Kyle, technically the 9 towers represent the protection of the 9 regions. However, the towers and the Knights of the Black Oak are not loyal to any region. Now, there is 1 or 2 in there that could be corrupt, but as a front that is put forward, there is no favoritism or bias for any knight to lord. So that's like, they're almost meant to be like their separate own judicial body that helps maintain order of Osiris, that together they almost have the same authority as one of the archdevils that runs a region. Because, for example, we have the 7 regions of hell, however there is 2 moons that don't have a regent, but they are presided over by one of the knights. So like, that's why there's 7 regions, but there's 9 regions of hell, whereas where the archdevils don't commit to such, there is the Knights of the Black Oak. Like, they are in the neutral grounds, like the processing center where it's meant to be like no one devil can have preference, or the Blood Moon where like anyone can withdraw power for a price. Like, these are neutral territories that are commanded and controlled by a neutral party. That's my thoughts anyway.
Yeah, they're very meant to be impartial to the individual affairs of the lords.
Like, we were talking a little bit when we were getting ready for the stream, and we definitely think we're going to talk about them next after we finish this section. We're going to talk about the 9 commanders of the Black Oak.
Yes.
And yes. I definitely want 1 or 2, or perhaps just 1, to actually predate some of the regions. Like, they are there before the regions. Like,
in their mind, the order will be there before some of the regions, and they'll be there after some of the regions. They're always going to be there. They're always going to be the same.
Regions rise and fall, but the oak stands strong.
Yep. And so does the knight's duty to maintain order and the lawful side of hell. Of Osiris.
We are evil, but we are not barbarians.
We are evil, but we do it right.
We are the necessary evil.
Yeah. Oh, hell, maybe not even necessary. They wouldn't even seem necessary. Like, we're evil, but, like, we're not savages. We have
The
laws.
bucket can
we
speak
have order.
telepathically, and if the player is successful, only then can hear the bucket.
I hope you're not typing this while we're
Seizure,
running your game.
can you hear a bucket right now? Blink once for yes, twice for no. Yeah, that is what the Romans thought, and look what happened. You're not wrong.
Look, the fall would be a very interesting campaign. But no, I guess another way to
Seizure,
think
you're
about
hearing
it-
a bucket. I think Seizure's hearing a bucket right now.
Yeah. But yeah, in terms of the story, going back to the main thing in this stage, which is the structure. Is there anything you feel like we need to include in there?
Do we want to talk about the defenses a little bit?
Yeah. I feel like as we've said, the main defenses comes from around.
The Black Oak itself can defend itself,
Black Oak
obviously, with the thorns.
and the fact that there's the vines wrapping around each of these citadels.
Yeah, because in that sense, you'd never be able to put a siege tower on it if the
No. And each one, they're like, as we've said, like, space is a valuable commodity for the knights. They've built up. They're very tall structures, and I imagine there's a lot of pulpits and walls and defensive things that just go up and up and up.
Oh god, yeah. No, I like that. I'm trying to think what else we can add, because I don't imagine, like, it's almost one of these things where they have less defenses than they probably need in case of a siege. However, they just assume no one would be stupid enough to siege them.
Well, that's the thing, is that if they get sieged, it means that either someone has invaded hell to the point that they've managed to invade the crown jewel, and
true, yeah, like they're
themselves is in danger. Either there's that, or it means that there is a civil war in Osiris to the point where even they are being threatened by it. In either case, there is not much they can do because it extends far beyond them. Because that's the thing; they're very practical in that sense, very pragmatic. They know that if it comes to the point of them being, if they know that if it comes to the point of them being put under siege, then something's seriously gone wrong in hell.
Random mimics, and you're going to try and siege it? That would be a very interesting campaign, trying to siege the Black Oak. It'd make a very good warfare. Be very, I imagine, a meat grindery campaign. I would expect a lot of player death.
Yes, be interesting though, like, who would do it? Would you have sort of fellow rival devils trying to do it? Would you have sort of demons? Would you have celestials? Like, be interesting to see from what angle.
That's not just on Osiris. That is like, you're at the heart of Osiris's power structure. So that's only going to go one of a few ways.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if we're missing anything for the overall. I don't know, like the overall structure. Like, I don't want to get too bogged down in just going through details right now of, like, super like in-depth stuff. But it's like, what could we talk about that we're not currently talking about that in theory could be touched on more?
Yeah. I'm trying to think in terms of on this side of things. So you've got like each town has a training, like dormitories, barracks, armories, blacksmith stuff. Actually, that's an interesting question I had. I imagine that staffing these buildings, they would need more than just the knights themselves. They would have like a group of just like squires and lesser devils that would maintain it and do the general runnings and stuff of the keep, of the different keeps themselves, the towers.
I imagine that they wouldn't trust anyone that's not a knight or a squire. I think there's like a sense of like there's no sense of like we are too valuable, too honorable to clean our own areas. It's like I imagine this very funny day. It's like, this day the Knights of the Black Oak assemble. Everyone grab a dustpan.
Well, I mentioned as well, like any sort of initiates and people training.
Oh yeah, I imagine
to
the
become a knight would have
majority
a
of
lot
the
of
king
those duties.
it's squires. I
Yeah.
don't imagine there's like, because again, it's not like there's 9 knights of the Black Oak and 9 squires.
Yeah.
This isn't the Tempest Zone.
Yeah.
They don't mind having
No,
many numbers.
This is exactly. Like this is an organization that is responsible for the whole judicial system of hell.
Yeah, it could be a few hundred people strong. Like that's
Yeah, exactly. Because once you
like, or
include knights,
more.
and a singular knight may have a few different squires. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then there may just be like training masters. Like I'm not an active knight in the field, but I'm just here to train you all.
Yep.
Like,
or like, hey, I'm just here as a blacksmith. I'm the quartermaster of the citadel.
I am
That
one
is
of
my
these
duty.
knights, but
Yes.
like
That
I've
I
taken the
maintain
oath to
creates
the Black
equipment.
Oak.
Yeah.
But I imagine there's
Which
no
I think
like.
isn't-
I imagine they have like a strict cleaning road that gets posted like every other week, and it's like
Oh,
just
yeah.
name by name.
Yeah.
It's like it's lawful.
Yeah,
It's like
100%.
we respect and maintain order. I am sorry you are on toilet duty.
My duty to the Black Oak.
My duty to the Black Oak.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point to touch upon, actually.
So what each of them would have dormitories, training grounds, mess halls,
Yes. Teleportation chambers.
So we've got mess halls, and at the top of each tower. So at the top of each tower, the command knight's quarters, which has a teleportation ring for each region of Osiris and each of the planets. Like these guys can get anywhere.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
Wait, no, I suppose this is the funny thing though. Teleportation circles, that's a non-factor because you don't need to know. You don't need rings for their circles. You only need a receiving ring. Like that's the thing, you can do a teleportation circle anywhere. So this is a non-factor.
That's true.
And I think if we're talking these people are pragmatic with their space, it makes much more sense that they have one teleportation circle back. Because why would they have 9?
Yeah, exactly. It's more just to watch over. I like the idea that there's like a knight, one of the knights at all times, who is there to watch over. Their entire duty is to watch over the teleportation circle.
So we will put that in the... We're going to go the libraries and a teleportation hall. It's constant. Add that to that bit. What else would it have?
I imagine that each of the 9 commanders would very much have their quarters sort of connected to the main quarters, because they're like, it's not about, being a lord and lording over the other members of the order. Like, it'd be very much connected.
Yes, I would say so.
And like, while they would have, a more spacious space and everything, it would still be very much connected. So So what would sit at the top, do you think? Like, what would be at the top of the... I feel
Well,
like,
each
like,
tower
there needs
has
to
a
be
top, surely, not just like
Yeah,
there's the
each
night
tower has a top.
quarters.
Um,
But do you want each tower at the top to be connected, like by other corridors that each of the top knights can get back
I
to
don't
each
know.
other?
Like, I'm just trying to figure. I feel like there should be something at like the top of each tower. There should be something that's... I don't know.
I don't know what to put there though, because if
I don't know what
if
to
we
put
do,
there.
I almost like it as having like there's like each knight commander's like tower is almost like glass 180 degrees out onto their like quadrant or sector that they can look out to in case of an attack. So it's like each of them have like each of the knight commanders, like it's like their office / living space.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like that.
It might be a stupid suggestion, but pet mimics. Why would these knights have mimics? You tell me. Or just because they're mimics. I think you have a thing
They're
for
cute.
mimics. Maybe. I'm getting the feeling. But what do we put there? Like, what is the station of these 9 towers that someone up at the top of the 9 towers has to hold? Like, what would go above that? Because in theory, this is meant to be like, you've put your life towards the Black Oak. You've been here, you've risen through all possible ranks. And
Yes.
what goes above you? Like, what would be above your chambers?
Nothing. Just the oak.
That's what I'm thinking. Nothing above you but the oak.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like the idea of it being like almost like a glass room though, that looks over everything.
Well, that's why I said 180 degrees of glass, because you don't want the other the other
No,
guys.
but they just all stare at each other.
Imagine all of them just there with their morning coffee looking inwards at the Black Oak, be like...
And then there's one person that just put on underwear, and it's like...
No, there's one person that purposely doesn't wear it and just stands there like...
Yeah. Starts winking at them all. Yeah. Holds up a sign, like, come over.
Holds up a sign, the Jor Hakeem gets offended.
Oh, fuck. Okay, it took me a second. Fuck's sake.
Oh, good. I think we've got, like, look at our little document. We've got a little bit going on
it's
here.
nice. It's nice what we got there.
I think...
So I think now's a good time to discuss the 9 commanders.
We continue. So we actually came up with a word for this we were looking for based on some Malayalam words for hell and judge and stuff. We smashed them all together, so the Nar Hajad is what we settled on.
Yeah.
Is that what we're calling the knights, or just the commanders?
No, I think that's just like the name of the knights. So it's like the formal name, like the Knights of the Black Oak, or like not Hell Knights, would be like more of like a slang term used, like the unofficial.
So if we're gonna go that the Nar Hajad are the knights, that's the name for the knights. What I would almost love to call the, like, rather than commanders, what if we called them the Exarchs? Because that's like a bishop title, kind of.
I like that.
It's like it's
like
slightly religious, but not too in there. So the Nar Hajad Exarchs, the Exarchs of the Nar Hajad. What do you think of Exarchs?
I really like it. It's cool. I was trying to think of something that could work, and I've been trying to pick my brains about it, but I like that actually. And it feels suitably heavy.
Yes, that is. It has a certain
because you need a weight to it for something like so involved in hell.
Also, it kind of has that religious vibe.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Kyle says, just everyone has us holding a sign up being like, my parents aren't home. Imagine these grizzled commanders just being like,
ancient... What the fuck?
You want some fuck?
Cursed. Definitely doing
Cursed.
fuck my face.
Has to be done. So actually, let's subheader here. We're gonna do the structure of the... So I'm gonna cut this bit out. What's the structure though? Like, when you talk organizations,
I liked the idea of how we discussed it in terms of the head of the knights at any stage is the one that is deemed to be the most experienced, the most
senior,
veteran and senior of the members. It's, all of them agreeing upon who they see as being the one to fulfill those ideals the best.
So what would we call fresh recruits?
Um,
I've got two minds of how I want to follow this naming convention. Either we go with something equivalent to exarchs, which we go more like religious names, or we
Yeah.
go with like seedlings. We go with the.
See, I don't want to do too heavy into that side of things because that just goes too far into the woad. The
Well,
woad
we
line
could
of
call
things.
this
I
like
think,
something that they don't even call them that well. We call them the rungs, because you will climb this ladder. Like, I don't like it though. What do
I
we
don't like it.
call
I feel like going. Yeah, scrubs.
the scrubs? The fucking bronzies.
You could always do like novitiate.
Oh, novitiates. Oh.
Yeah, I'll send the spelling first.
No, I got it. I got it.
You got it? Novitiate.
All right. So,
Because
recruits
that's
and
like very much
squires.
like a novice in a religious order. And then, yeah, these are like the bare bones recruits, the ones that have, like, how do recruits people get recruited? Is it like an invitation based thing? Like, hey, you had skills, we want to get you. Like, how does it work?
No, this is. I definitely think it goes like people who have shown potential. Like, that's not a bad one. We could go the novitate. What? Novitate? Is it? How is that pronounced? Novitate? Novitate?
Novitiate.
Novitiate. We could go pawns after this, but
I feel like how's that to say
prawns.
prawns?
We got the prawns. Let's go.
Fuck. I think the pawns would work for like the bare bones, and then squires would be novitiates.
Okay.
Because the pawns are those that have not proved themselves at all. They are people who have merely begun to show potential for joining the order, but they haven't started any of the trials, any of the training.
Next up, we have the knights not granted the title of master yet. What do we call them?
So the knights themselves, I think it's the next.
Yeah. So what do we call?
Oh, they could be the Naja.
No, I like the Naharjar being the name of the actual order. Like rather than we just talk like.
Okay. Yeah,
like,
yeah, I like that. Now this is a difficult one. Um, um,
Oh, I know this is really fucks, but what if we call them the abbots?
Abbots. That's okay.
Abbots are. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of fucking like it. I don't know why though.
I think we can definitely. Or we can even call them like Templars of the Black Oak, which then goes very much into being like a mockery of the religious.
Okay. Here we go. Trying to keep it in this sort of vein. The Empyreans.
Imperial.
Suggested by Kyle. The Empyrean. Does that sound above an Exarch? No, I think Exarch still sounds much higher.
Imperial. That could work actually. That's a name to put it in there. I think we need like a little brainstorming page.
This is difficult.
What name?
What name?
What's the name? The Paladins done.
I'll add in the Cardinals.
Oh, but see that almost fits the role for the commanders. I think the Cardinals.
Cardinals, and then we have the Exarchs. Or do you mean Cardinals over Exarchs?
No. I mean like I prefer Exarchs, but Cardinals sounds like it should be in that role.
Well, we could go. There is like the commanders after knights, and then we have the 9 leaders, which are the Exarchs.
Yeah.
What
we're
is...
gonna be stuck on trying to think of this. Something that just sticks. We're gonna say something which will just hit us.
I think... I'm trying to look up like typical like religious iconography names.
Like,
oh, what if we call them the Heralds?
Done. I like that. The Heralds. That's yeah.
The Herald
I
of
like
the
that.
Black Oak. Whoop.
Herald of Black
No,
Oak.
thank you.
There we go. It was like as I was saying. We're
So
gonna
then
hit
we've
a
got
name,
the...
and that's just gonna hit. And then I think after it's the Exarchs.
What if we went Cardinals and then Exarchs? So like many people can rise to the rank of Cardinal, and then among the Cardinal is like the Council. So we've got the Commanders, and then...
See, I kind of like this order here. It's not. I guess they are still devils. They still are very hierarchical.
Yeah, that's my idea. Is this is still like a devil
Yeah.
region, so I want it to be like the very hierarchy
Yes.
to rise through. And I think
Yeah, okay.
4 is just too like so. What's a step above command? Like, what's a better term for commander? So senior knights.
Seniors, yeah, like veterans, even like veteran knights, senior knights.
Oh, you know what we could say though? We're gonna put this in brackets when they attain their first squire.
Oh, okay.
That's when you become a cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they definitely will. They can have like the whatever a infernal version of a Pegasus is. The nightmares, bruh.
No, it's yeah. I almost kind of like Crusader as a rank, but
Crusader. I don't hate it. But what rank would you put it in?
I feel like that would be almost the knight rank. In that case, I think I might prefer heralds a bit more.
The heralds for when they have a squire. Okay, so
I think heralds for when they have a squire. I feel like heralds sounds a bit more weighty. That'd be actually kind of cool for characters, you know, like for player characters rising to the point of actually.
Well, see, that's like when you look
squire.
up like the actual bits of like factions that are given, like the Emerald Order or whatever, the ones that are given in 5e. Like there is actual ranks for them. Like that's one thing we haven't done with a lot of our factions, is like the ranks. So then we've got the commanders, which are the Exarchs. Commanders. Elected from within the... So based on seniority.
Yes.
And we have them as the Exarchs.
The Exarchs.
Look, the heralds do be out here being like like just
the
don't
heralds
fuck
put
with them.
fear. Yeah, the heralds put fear. The sight of a herald is enough to put the fear. The fear
it
of
just sounds so oppressive.
Yeah.
But I like
as it should be. As it should be.
As it should be, you're not wrong. So what would come next? Or what do we think should come next? Will we talk about the Exarchs?
I think we should talk about the Exarchs.
Should we do a little bit like, see the way I have brackets here, for what, like, a recruit? Like, when do you, I suppose from going from a pawn to a novitiate is being when selected by a herald. I think there is that cruel symptom of this order is you could be a pawn for a very long time until you prove yourself enough that a herald selects you.
Yes. That's the thing, is that you're trying to constantly prove yourself as a pawn.
As a pawn.
For one of the...
Do they have a cocktail night?
But yeah, you're constantly trying to prove yourself as a pawn for one of the heralds to notice you and to select you as being one of their squires. So I'm getting very strong Sith vibes from this.
That's my entire intent. Is these are meant to feel like but I don't want like Sith Lord, like apprentice master.
No, exactly. Because at the end of the day, that is not their thing. They are not trying to rule. That is not their ambition.
They're trying to maintain order and train.
Yes.
So when you become a Crusader, I think that is fully up to a Herald.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you think that's decided by the Council of Exarchs?
I think that's up for the Herald. Like something on that level is up to a Herald.
Decided by
I
the
feel like the
Heralds.
Exarchs is like beyond that. Like
They
don't
don't care
concern themselves. No.
So, but again, it's not going to be like this Sith like dichotomy where there's two of them. It's like I'm not going to raise you because I think it's, like it doesn't matter. Like eventually they want to raise their novitiates to Crusaders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically, hell is a pyramid scheme.
Hell is one big pyramid scheme. Confirmed.
So we kind of recruits, when you get that fucking annoying email just being like, hey, I think your resume would fit this role.
Oh god.
Okay, we're making decent progress on this. Next we're going to talk about the 9XX. So
Mm-hmm.
we can number these 1 through 9.
Yes.
So one thing we're doing is...
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Go ahead, Ref.
I was gonna say the 9 Exarchs. I know you may be thinking that there's only 7 regions of hell, but there's 2 extra for the 2 other moons of Osiris, being the processing center, and the blood, soul bank, the blood moon.
Yes, because those are meant to be neutral domains, like neutral areas that no one archdevil can have a influence over. Also, Kyle saying demon bats bring the letters for the recruits. I think
that there's definitely some form of like infernal bats that sort of just deliver messages from the order. I think that's kind of cool.
I think there's even a stage where pawns could be nominated by other members, or could even be nominated by a an archdevil, that sort. Like, there's a part of you that really thinks, and you can correct me if you don't think this would be true, that when Archrius became Lord of the first level of Hell, he would have nominated Lucian to go through, to be like a, not so much like a neutral wink wink nudge nudge party for do you think Lucian would have
do you think he would have used Lucian as that, or did he kept him as one of his own knights?
Fair, that is.
Do you think he would have squandered someone like that to him? And someone that would
technically
also
at that stage, the Ashen Lord is like the Lord of all hell.
True, although didn't that happen shortly after?
That would have been right. Yeah, no, never mind. Based on
then Archrius also had to die, and then that was part of us. Then Archrius became the
yes, you're right. Timeline wise, it wouldn't line up. Very fair. Yeah. So Lucian would have been Solo Bolo Knight.
Bolo. One of the Ashen Lord's personal knights.
Similar training.
As much as he hated it. As much as he hated it.
It ain't much, but it's dishonest work. Okay, what do we go to from here? So we got our 9 exarchs. So we're going based on virtue names for these. I already have one that I know off the top of my head. We have Woe. Do we want? No, I would suppose you get given your virtue name when you become. Oh, we'll actually put that in here. When you become a
Crusader.
Would you say when you become a Crusader or when you become a novitiate?
I would say when you actually become a full proper knight is when you get your name. Because novitiates, they're still, still going through the process of becoming a full knight.
Okay, so virtue name given at that stage. So we know there is Woe. We had some other ones in mind that I wanted to do. So we know Woe resides over the swamps of Jaskar.
I like Contempt as a name for one of them.
Okay, Contempt. I like Torrent.
Torrent, yeah. Yeah, it's although it's so I'm just gonna be like, is that an Elden Ring reference?
Everything is.
Um,
I'm trying to think what else would be good. We went through a few ideas yesterday.
which we shouldn't have, and
which we shouldn't have, but we couldn't help it.
Spiders is not a bad idea for one.
Like Spite. Oh, I had that one that I very much so liked, which was just I can't remember who, but Command
That was me. Yeah, that was one of. I suggested that for.
and End.
I suggested Command for. Fuck the Frozen level of hell. I'm trying to remember the name though. Suskan.
Yes.
What's
Next.
So what ones don't we have? What levels don't we have?
So let's put these. I think Torrent we're putting as up here, so we're gonna get that. The ocean, so we're getting Cruve.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine Contempt would be very good for Pandemonium.
Yes.
Command as actually I should probably put I'm gonna put the names, not the effects. So we're gonna put Unovix. Brumas. Okay. You wanted did you want command for Brumas or Seskin?
Either.
Let's go Seskin. I imagine End would be very good for Brumas.
Yeah, End would be very good for Brumas.
Some other good virtue names for.
I was gonna say, I still think for the processing center, I still think it should be bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. No, Spite works for that.
Spite works for that as well.
Oh, I like Order for the Blood Moon.
Order for Blood Moon? Yep, I was trying to think of one for that. I like that. What ones don't we have?
We don't have the volcanoes, which is like artsy area. We don't have the jungle. No, so we've 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1 second. I think we're wrong. There should be. Oh wait, we might be wrong because no 7 regions, 2 moons. Yeah, okay. I almost unmatched my own maths. So we don't have Mixmagar. We don't have. What don't we have?
So what ones don't we have? We don't have.
Let's put them in order. That would make things much easier.
That would make it much easier to figure.
So then we have, after oceans, we have command for the.
I bet like obsession is one.
Could work.
I'm trying to think of something.
Next we've got swamps, which is low.
No, that doesn't
We've
look
got
right.
volcanoes, so we gotta get volcanoes in there.
Is it just the volcanoes that we're missing?
Nope, it's not.
Perish. Oh, that's a cool one. Imagine
Ooh,
being
I like
that.
Perish.
What's your name? Perish.
So we are missing 2 nights. We are missing the Jungle of Dragor, and we are missing.
Yes,
we are missing Mixmagar.
Do you think? What about like ambition?
Oh, ambition would be a bit.
And these aren't hereditary names, if everyone keep in mind.
These are not hereditary.
These are just the current virtue names for each of the knights.
Yes, this is what the dudes
each of the
currently be at. So, I had one. It was in my brain and then it left. He or she. What do we name next?
So there's still the volcano.
Is. Ooh, hear me out. Sever.
Sever? Savage, right?
It's all coming together. Sever could work then.
Sever? How? Yeah, sever.
As in to sever a limb. Virtue names do be hard. This is why people skip them when they're playing tieflings. Oh, you know what? Actually, really imagine we just call one ecstasy.
Ooh, okay. That could work for that one there. I could work for the mix my guy.
Could work. I don't hate it. I
think
we can do better.
One. I think we can do better. We can do better. Revulsion.
Sorrow.
See, so far we've tried to get something that's kind of beat the level, but we don't have to do that. And I like Sorrow as a name, so I think put Sorrow.
Yeah, because I don't want them to be like like they get given it based on.
Yeah, they don't get their names based on that.
So do we want to expand on these people a little bit?
Yeah, we can even do like what races they are.
Okay, so we could go.
Like obviously they're all devils, but all of these used to be mortal.
Who's the leader? I'm curious. Who is the leader?
I think we could do something, flip it on its head a little bit, and I think potentially, you know what? I reckon we make Order from the Blood Moon.
Okay. So,
as someone who has watched over the souls for such a long time now, who has resided on one of the moons, watching over one of the moons for untold millennia.
And we've got our ninth night sprite.
That's right.
Got our prawns. We've got
sprites. We need is the night coke.
We know we had ecstasy for a minute. Don't worry about that. Shouldn't mix them.
Fuck's sake.
No, I really like that. Also, look at look. Pop your eyes on that stream. Look at the little writing we've gotten done in here.
I know. I'm trying to find it on World Anvil. If you've got say,
I don't yet. Oh, imagine I didn't save this. I'd be so mad.
Has it been confirmed yet? Yes. Has the bucket been confirmed yet, Des? That is what we must know.
You're still here, so no.
How'd the session go? Are you still?
Is your session going? Did you pause mid-session and be like, guys, 1 second? I have to go check.
Checking on this.
There might be a bucket somewhere. Maybe.
There might be a bucket that I've inserted into this world, guys. I need to go check on this.
Oh, buddy. I'm super sorry to hear that. That's rough.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than a last minute cancel.
I was going to say that's a curse of D&D groups and one of the most annoying things to happen, I feel, to any D&D group. Hey, they don't know what they missed out on.
Exactly. So Raph, it's now under the exalted glade of the Black Oak. You can
peep over there.
Just...
But yeah, do you think we should do like what races they were before they became devils.
Yeah, I think we could. We have time. We can do
appearances.
that. Oh shit.
And it's all of these, they're not just drawn from Durapidan.
No, they're drawn from all
over.
Yeah, this is
So
like
a lot
any of the
weird-
cosmology of the world. So we're not limited to the races that are just in our Quentos side.
Yes, which makes it quite interesting.
Yes.
I do like I like the idea of the what are they called? Current for the Oceans of River. I like the idea, and it's quite fitting, quite obvious, but then being something like a Triton. Because being able to navigate the oceans or levels of hell without any issue. Being very much natural in that type of...
What will it let me indent this? Does it let me to?
You know what's cool, actually? I kind of feel... Order is one of the very first tieflings in existence.
Oh, you know we have as Order's backstory, the first Warlock.
Yes, the first person that ever made a pact with one of the devils.
Not to be a tiefling.
In there. No, but I kind of like the idea of them being one of the first tieflings.
I imagine one of their kids was the first tieflings.
Yes, actually, one of their kids was the first tieflings.
The first Warlock.
The first Warlock. Ooh. And so they were human.
Or elf, actually. Or...
No, I kind of like it being here. It could be elf, though. I just like
it could be anything, any of our races. But...
Yeah. Yeah, what if they're a star elf?
You know what actually works really well? Dwarves. Order. Dwarves law.
True. I was also thinking star elf, so it would be kind of cool. And demonstrates how old they are.
First. Oh, let's go with that. That's a start.
Because it's also how old they are. They're a star elf, which don't even exist in this current timeline, in this current stage in the timeline.
Imagine the situation where an elf rocks up and they're trying to figure out what a star elf means to be and get back to that first elf status. And they somehow manage to rock up on Order and meet this star elf, and they're like, how do I get from where I am to where you are? And all they get met back with is the drawing of a blade and goes, you can't. That will break Order.
That's cool. That's fucking cool. Weird. The obvious answer is to restore the dying god, but
the obvious answer is of course. So, Triton.
Yeah.
So I want Tart to be Triton.
I feel like something water related just kind of fits with the whole. Considering they do have to navigate the oceans.
Do we make these? Do we make the like in a series? Can these people be immortal? Like, are they?
I think, yeah. I think very much like any devil, their soul gets, put back. They don't actually die in that sense.
Sea elves. That is Piano 51. Oh, we do actually have sea elves on the other side of the world. Naiads? Ooh, Naiad. I don't think I have Naiads, but we could have Naiads.
Also, hey.
Hey, first time. I'd love to see a first time chatter. How are you today?
Yeah. Hope you're doing well. Sea elves could be kind of interesting.
You know what I actually really like is like a Triton, but not like a not like regular Triton, like the Tritons from Theros, the way they look.
Yes. Yeah.
It's definitely how I lean my Tritons to look.
But, look at the Theros.
Piano 51. How are you doing today? It's what brings you to our lovely little stream? How are you?
Oh, I see what you mean by the Theros Tritons.
Yeah, they hit difference. Yeah, I think I want to do Triton.
I like that. But yeah, that's cool.
Here we go, Triton. Dark Tritons. No. Piano 51. If you look up the Tritons from the Mythic Odysseys of Theros, they look distinctly different to the other Tritons we've been given in in 5th edition. They're very different.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we want to include in this about Torrent?
Yes. Who was Torrent in life?
Or we'll get all the races.
Yeah, I think get
and
the
such
races.
down. Also, I'm going to put down order as just a good old representation, non-binary.
That's the thing. They're so old at this stage that they
transcend gender.
Yeah, essentially.
Command.
Fallen Asima. Ex-Asima. Corrupted and fell to the...
Pina, now this is our own homebrew setting. I just like the aesthetic of the Tritons from Theros. Yeah. This is our own world called Quentos, which is where we play every Monday and soon to be Sunday for a mini-series, and we're just fleshing out our homebrew world. It's been a work in progress of my own brain since, I want to say, the setting itself was born in about, I want to say 2019. No, that doesn't feel right. 2018? No, it was 2019, I think.
No, it was 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
2018 was the first Quenthian journey. Roundabout.
Yeah, it was the first Quenthian journey. I think mid 2018 to start 2019.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute.
It's been a while.
No, it's going playing the Tale of the Gods.
No, not yet. not yet.
Mm-hmm.
We may have some Tale of the Gods soon, though. Gods do be coming up frequently and often in our main game.
They do. I do. Every Monday night. Well, not this week, but most Monday nights.
What do we put them down as? Command.
Command. What do you think about the idea of one of them potentially being an Asima that fell and got corrupted?
I like it. We'll go Fallen Asima. What gender will we give command? Male, female? What do you feel? What do you imagine command to be? What does he or she or they look like to you?
See, I know that in the main game about Samael like this, but I in my mind I was very much picturing that almost angelic in a sense, but very evil and twisted looking, but still retaining that sort of angelic beauty.
Okay. So we'll put down angelic beauty.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't answer my question, though.
I don't know.
How did they fall?
Ooh.
I suppose they became a knight of the Blackout. They became a Hell Knight.
Yeah.
That goes very against most gods.
I'm trying to think in terms of a story behind it or what happened.
You put forward the Fallen Asima. This is on you.
This is on me.
This is on you. You put forward a Fallen Asima. I can brainstorm, but you put forward a Fallen Asima.
I could very much have seen it. No, I imagine very much if you're looking in terms of like the 7 sins and children, that sort of thing, it's much more of a pride, but out of ambition they fell, seeking to increase their own status and power beyond what their angelic guide, the gentle path that they tried to lead them on. They craved much more than that, which only hell could provide.
Okay. I know Woe is a tiefling. I believe Woe to be a tiefling. So, what are we putting command as? What? Male, female, how you feeling?
Let's put it as female.
Okay, so Rapco question: what drove the acceptance of this deal? This is for both of us. When they became one of the knights, what drove command to stray from a celestial's path? I definitely think it was more of a promise of immortality and power.
I think as well the celestial, the god that they had their connection to was someone on either side of the world, but a deity
No.
that was much calmer and much more of a Nemavana type of character who was much more relaxed, much more peaceful, and couldn't provide the fuel for this individual's ambitions in life and for their desires for
Hear me out,
themselves.
though. Hear me out. Fallen Aasimar, because she was in love with an elf and her own mortal lifespan would not match to meet theirs.
Ooh. Ooh.
So
Okay, that's interesting.
the immortality of the exarchs drew them in.
Yes.
And now Command's own
what if-
children are not our exarchs, but are heralds of the oak.
What if... Hear me out. What if Command, because of the military side of Command as well, they were a commander, they were a general of the Eye of Ruin.
Ooh.
They were one of the Eye of Ruin's generals.
Okay.
Who, in the midst of the chaos leading up to the whole war between the gods, made the pact. Because the Eye of Ruin's focus was on the upcoming conflict and not on granting boons. And they sought, as they grew older, that eternal life that was not granted to them.
So she could be with. Heralds. I love the idea that her own children are the heralds, like a few of them.
That's cool, I like that. Almost like, hey, you died. Welcome to the afterlife with Mum. You get to become a Hell Knight.
No, I think they got born in Osiris. I think
they got born as...
they're tieflings, but they're like half elvish
okay.
mix and Aasimar. But it's like
Okay, I like
after the
that.
natural lifespan, they try to convince their partner to join up with the Black Oak. You two can live forever. And it's like, I have had 700 years. I do not need an eternity, for I experienced an eternity with you. And then just like that crushing, it's like, now there's that anger. It's like, I have my children, but I will never have my love again. It's like that very militaristic style of the region. It's just like, have there been Swollbold or few thus far? You mean kobolds but Swoll? There's no kobolds but Swoll yet. Not yet.
Swollbold. I like that.
I am going to leave most of Woe's backstory pretty bare bones, because I'm not going to give away character backstory that could come up in the campaign of Mondays. So you'll have to wait and see how interactions like that may come about.
Okay. Hear me out for Pandemonium, Des.
Okay.
What if it was an Ivarillium? Being, uniquely qualified to deal with something that horrific with their more
Raph, would you like to explain while I just quickly run out and refill my water? Would you like to explain what an Ivarillion is?
No, I would not.
Well, you're going to. I'm going to go fill up my water.
Hand.
Explain to the stream what an Ivarillion is.
Come on, Des. You can't leave me this. You better stay on my thing. You better stay in your headset. All right, so Ivarillions are creatures from essentially the equivalent in our world of the negative energy plane, or planet in this case. And they are beings from that plane that have arrived onto the prime-material plane and are basically slightly incorporeal, shadowy race. I don't know too much about them beyond that, because there's a lot that's trying to be ironed out, but Des can talk beyond that. But yeah, I think that about sums it up. Des, if you're there. Which he's not. They're not. But yeah, kind of ghost-like, but more present than ghosts. Like caught in somewhere in between being a ghost and being not a ghost. yeah, I guess closer to sort of antimatter beings, but very much, yeah, very much that type of creature without descending into being undead. Um, so yeah, caught more in between the stage of being undead and being living.
Okay, it was hilarious to just leave you there to panic for a little bit. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I
panic
had
for
to
a
do it.
bit.
I had to do it. I was ready to come back, but I was just
How
like, "You're
dare
like, Des, are
How
you there?"
dare
And I'm like,
Yeah,
so yeah, the Everillians
true.
are basically beings of negative energy. They're shadow-like creatures that can manifest weapons from their own being. They are they are not undead, but they are like
No.
almost a necrotic energy style. Their history comes from the fact that their Everillion was a planet of splendor and opulence until a literal dying god, literally. Well, no, I think a god crashed into
Anyway,
it.
it was a sleep. Basically, the planet. If we go into this, the planet of Virillion was a very prosperous planet, very unified and very I guess scholarly in its pursuits. It
Yeah.
was over religion and stuff, very scholarly. But basically, they began to research and then worship the moon, as the moon of the planet began to almost influence the minds, as the moon itself of Iberia was a slumbering great old one that had formed a shell around itself and become the moon. But in their research into it and into their worship into this, well, quote unquote moon, basically awoke it from its slumber and caused it to continue on its course and crash into the planet. And release the negative energy as basically the soul of this great old one, all over the planet.
You were probably able to do it without me being here. You could have just gone off.
But that's about the planet. It's not about the race, okay?
But that's how they
Don't
came
get
into
me wrong.
being, and now they are beings. They don't actually have physical form. They are only semi corporeal when they wish to be, and can like move through space smaller than them. They're spooky.
They are spooky, but yeah. And I kind of like the idea of the one from Pandemonium being Everillion.
Okay.
It's just kind of fitting for the whole theme of.
Do we, however, make it a pre-crash Everillion or a post-crash Everillion?
That creates the whole question of what were pre-crash Everillions like? Were they just like humans, or are they very different?
They would have been the last Everillion. Imagine.
So I like that idea, and I think we can say that, but that also means we need to think of what the last Everillions were like what Everillions were like beforehand.
Oh, what? Can we come up with a race on the spot? Is the big question in that.
No, I think we say that they were the last Everillion, and just leave it at that.
They were the last Everillion. Meet them in game.
Yeah, but I think it's almost like almost a torment for them if they were weaker. Would be wandering Pandemonium, which would almost remind them of their dead planet.
Do we make them the last Everillion or no?
I think we make him an Everillion. I kind of like that idea.
But do we make him a pre-crash Everillion, like the last Everillion, or like a shadow creature Everillion?
What are you leaning towards at this stage?
Kind of like it could be like that way. Contempt would be the next in line for like the second list.
True, and I like that.
I'm gonna play it last.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, last.
How do you feel about a wise sage, seated in one chair for thousands of years, obsessed with thoughts of madness, and from those thoughts, spirits or something continually rise? I like that idea. I like that idea a lot, actually.
That's cool.
I don't know. I've always loved concepts like that about madness and sort of divination and beings like that. As anyone watching the game would know.
I agree. Dog.
Yeah, you know what? Welcome to the stream. Dog. But yeah, I always like concepts like that, so definitely.
Spooky concepts.
Yeah, and spooky concepts to do with dreams and madness. That's kind of my jam.
They have no aggressive actions, just passive spawn with some buffs.
Yeah. I like that. It's not necessarily yeah, it's not necessarily hostile or anything. It's just them in their thoughts and
Yeah, I
their
like that.
thoughts of madness creating these spirits. Not necessarily hostile, not necessarily violent towards anyone, but yeah, I like
That's a
that.
cool idea. And to answer Connor, we're building out the Knights of Hell of our world. We are building out what the order that maintains the judicial system in Hell looks like, what these knights look like, and what they do. We've gone through what they're called it is the Exalted Glade of the Black Oak. We've talked about their hold a little bit. We've talked about the regional effects. We've some big dogs basically.
Big dogs, yeah,
big
exactly.
dogs. Yeah.
So, look, everything can be boiled down to whether
Lovable sort of head.
Like sake.
The Last of Viridian. I like it being the Last of Viridian. I'm gonna go next in line to lead the Exarchs. Oh, actually, you know what we do? We do a complete cop out. Long it features flowing hair. Wears a mask at all times.
There we go. Wears a mask.
His race is physical. So basically, like, I will not take this off.
I kind of like end. I don't know, like, how much do we want to link up the sort of? I feel like we don't want to go too far into linking up the area of hell with.
No, the area of hell does not need to.
Reflect.
Yes, Connor does not. Congratulations.
Got him. Yeah, I like.
Yeah, no, I don't want the species or anything to specifically link up to what the region is meant to be. Like, I think Torrent became the ocean level because they're probably the only one with an innate ability to breathe in water.
It makes sense.
It makes sense. That's why they were granted the region of that area. However, I don't think.
I want one of them. I don't know which one, but I want one of them to be a hobgoblin, because a hobgoblin as a fucking Hell Knight is one of the most terrifying concepts and would be absolutely horrifying. I think, at least.
Okay. Interesting. What else do we have? What other races do we have? You know what I would actually really like? I would like for End to be a Dragonborn.
Okay. Why is that? Like, why?
I would just love to have a gold Dragonborn who should have been good. Like, being like, you are good, and it's like, I am not good.
Yep.
I am the End.
I like that.
So I'm gonna go gold. Oh,
Durganburn. Let's see. Yeah. If there was an Alicid, like, how would they go about with the elk? They wouldn't need an elk. How would that work?
Bro, don't make one. We don't have to worry about that question then.
Yes, hypothetically. If there's
a centaur as a medium creature can ride a horse. I hate this. I hate it so much.
That's fucking cursed.
To answer your question, I imagine it would be some form of like greaves, boots, shoes, hoofs, like horseshoes.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, Ent with flames instead of leaves. That sounds like a cool concept in general.
Sounds like an Australian Ent, not gonna lie.
Yeah. You know what? I reckon if you want like a really intimidating one, I feel like a Goliath would be fucking intimidating.
But we put it as Sorrow just because.
I don't know. That's just a random idea. Sorrow. What if it was Sorrow?
Dogman.
A dog man. Oh, actually, you know what? What if there was like a Leonin?
Leon could work.
Leonin could be kind of cool. I just think in terms of like the aesthetic wise, a Leonin would make
I'm
for
trying to
really
figure out what
interesting.
we put in for Sorrow, is my thing right now.
Oh, yeah. In terms of story for them, or like,
Why would their virtue name be Sorrow? Oh, you know what I'm gonna do it as? We're gonna put it as a Gitzerai.
okay.
So Gitzerai.
You know what, actually, Des? Okay, hear me out for a second. Replace the name Sorrow with Contempt, because Sorrow for the last Ivarillion.
Okay,
That kind of fits.
we can do that. Also, it kind of stops the names being linked to the region a bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do like Gitzerai. So the story for Contempt
Yeah.
being that they... Or actually, let's make it a Git Yankee, just because... Why not?
An American gift, yeah. Gift Yankee.
Yep, the American gift. Thank you very much. Great joke. 10 out of 10. But
Thank you. I'll take my leave. I'll exit right there. No one needs to hear anymore.
They made a pact to escape Illithid slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And then absolute flex, we have one of the other ones being Illithid.
They hate each other. They can't stand each other. No, I quite liked it actually. I like it.
So what's Tarn's deal? What was her? Well, I suppose not
Yes,
everyone needs to be a warlock. Remember that. Like that's the thing. Like
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I would like to think she's
remember.
a capable pirate in her life.
Ooh, yeah, capable pirate.
So she was approached after summoning her ship into Osiris to raid on the Devil's Seas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? She was a pirate, literally got mages to transport her own pirate. Because remember, the Krive is like the party barge, and she's like, right for the picking. And it's like...
But then she becomes
Yeah, but then obviously she gets caught, and it's like, well, fuck, it's like, you're capable. You can die, or...
undertake the trials.
A Kentar, is that just a centaur named Ken? Kentar the centaur?
And you said my jokes are bad.
I'm reading chat. Chat has bad jokes. I don't have bad jokes. I'm only joking, Connor, don't worry. So what's to the tiefling as their woe? I guess they spun an overdramatic tale about everything betrays them, and totes it's not their fault, or will they hear? In reality, he jumped on an opportunity and instead likes to end your tragedies. To answer that, PNs, woe is actually will come up in the current ongoing campaign. So I don't want to give too much up on woe. I will put a little bit in there in a minute. But it'll probably be quite bare bones. Because if you want to figure out woe's backstory, woe is going to be I don't want to say too pivotal, but a important NPC to come up.
Mm-hmm. They will come up.
They will come up. But I can put it down as very much so a family left. Brought in by the King Lord. Loyal. Then, so I'm very aware of our time now. We've got 2 more people. I want to get these filled out quickly.
Yes.
I don't want to go too over time for us. Ambition.
Spite. How about a? Okay, ambition. Let's go dwarf.
Dwarf. Oh, I like dwarf for ambition.
And because they wanted, what was the trial? Was it like the trial of iron, or what was the one on the other side of the world? In the trial to become the king. And then they made their pact in order to help them in the trials to become whatever the title was, king or whatever it was. the dwarven holds. Which then reflects their ambition. Where at? Yeah. Speaking of where at.
Okay, and then Sprite.
Yes, now, yeah, Sprite. Yeah, is it McDonald's Sprite?
It do be Sprite not. But
right,
oof,
Sprite. Spite. What do we do for
what
Spite?
race?
I'm trying to think of something for Spite.
Could work. What could work? What could work?
I feel like I'm trying to. I just need a right race to put this.
We could go Changeling.
Could do Changeling.
Or we could go with casters and do something like Canterbury and PMs. Oh, Spiteful, yeah, they. Oh, yeah, let's go. But what? They're also were. But what were creature are they? We could actually just go. Let's go. Human were-tiger.
Were-tiger. Ooh.
And Fist of Rage. On first transformation.
Maybe I'm just spite their own transformation.
What do you think of that?
I like that. I like that a lot. Were-tiger.
So I think in a fit of rage upon their first transformation, they killed their village and were slain in the process. Their anger brought them to hell. Because actually, I think that brings a very how would you put it? A interesting. Can people, upon their death, appear to be capable warriors and people that could be useful to the knights of the knights of the Black Oak? Would they approach them as their soul is transitioning, like they're like an offer at another chance of life?
Well, here's the thing, though, is that they had to have made a deal. I feel like in terms of the knights, have to reach out to one of the regents of hell who have claimed the soul, because that's how it works. Who have claimed the soul and request, can they move in and claim one of them, claim a particular soul, because otherwise that disrupts with the whole system of the regents claiming ownership of the souls, or like devils in general, because it doesn't have to be one of the regents, it can just be a devil. So I kind of feel like.
So I think for their story then is they reached out to devils to allow them to enact revenge on the one that changed them, and that mission alone, when they got returned to hell after, like almost like Revenant style, it's like, you did very well with that. We offer you now a chance, rather than eternity of servitude, an eternity at the Black Oak if you pass the trials.
Yes, which is one of the things that the trials does, I suppose, is to temper their personalities. Like, even if they were a warrior, they may not have the calm, rational outlook.
Or you could go with something rather than having, like, because tieflings, like, they go virtue names based on what they value. You could go that these people take their virtue names based on what they overcame. They overcame their spite. They overcame their order. They overcame their ambition. They overcame their sorrow.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, so the virtue name is something that they possessed in life, but then once they became a member of the Order of the Black Oak,
they sacrificed that for
they had to overcome. Like, part of becoming one of the Hell Knights is to overcome your main vice.
Overcome what
whatever
you
that is.
reached out to make your pact or deal with the devil
Yes,
over.
you have to overcome that.
I like that a lot. But then what did we
And maybe
change?
that's-
I suppose Tarrant, because she was a pirate, so she overcame the life of a pirate. She
Yeah.
overcame the Torrent. I like that. I like it. So do we make that? Where would we add that in though? Maybe put that under the structure. We'll put
Maybe
that
add
as
that under the structure, and I think maybe they could even put that as the heralds. In order to become a herald, that is what you need to do to reach that point.
your virtue name.
You need to be able to overcome.
Giving your virtue name based on what you overcame to get.
Actually, you know what? I feel like that's actually a knight thing. I feel like it's like a crusader. That's what you hit.
Yeah, that's why I put it under, because you get your virtue
Mm-hmm.
name. You get your virtue name before you're a herald. You get your virtue name when you're a crusader.
Yes.
Because like you've now sacrificed for the oak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nice save changes. One thing I want to do is I'm going to control A. I'm going to control. Oh, this is not going to cut paste because we want to change this to an organization. We're going to go organization. Where's organization? Alphabetical order. There. Definitely doesn't work that way. I like it too. So be it. I'm gonna go. This time we're gonna go up here. We're gonna go better two. We're gonna go.
Mm-hmm. If you don't mind, Des, I'll be back in just a sec.
Yeah, take your time. And we're just gonna get some formatting done here. Like that. What aspect was she even enamored with in pirate life? Plunder? Imagine lack of attachments as she leaves everything behind, set off. Needed to avenge a fellow pirate. I think that's a very good approach. What am I doing? Fuck. Sorry, 1 second. I got a little distracted. I suppose the plunder itself, we may need to change Torrent's name, because if we're going, their virtue name is what they overcame.
Yes.
We definitely need to change Torrent's name.
Let's go back and have a look at.
You think about it. I'm going to format this on a new article to get rid of all of our.
Think about
stuff.
it.
So.
So what was it that she overcame?
Oh my god, this is. Ooh.
Like, why was she a pirate?
Greed, but yeah, you could change it to greed.
I was trying to think of.
Oh, hey, Cookie.
Greed or. Hey. Or it could even be something more like avarice.
Avarice works.
I just want to go directly for something straight from like Seven Sins.
It does work though. Yeah, it's going very, very well, Cookie. We're designing we're continuing where we left off last week, and we're basically finishing out what all the Knights of the Exalted Glade of the Black Oak are. We've got a decent bit of this content set out now. I'm just formatting it right now to be make sense. Yeah,
it's a good synonym without directly being greed. I just don't want to directly use one of the seven sins.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just saying.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It just, I don't know, for me it's a bit of an overused naming system.
Look, you're not wrong. Yeah. Just doing a bit of formatting, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. How is the Lord for us to come out? Look, still rolling over their level of hell.
Still rolling over their level of hell has to be done. Okay.
Lord Defrost.
So delete that. Delete that.
How are you doing today, Cookie?
Not ignoring you, chat. I'm just formatting right now. And
is there anything else we wanted to discuss in regards to everything? Because I know we're probably run out of time.
We are running out of time drastically.
I know we also want to discuss myths as well as potential like what the order covers, but I kind of feel like we've covered what the order does.
I don't think we need to specifically touch on the Smith, to be fair.
No. The only thing I was thinking of maybe touching upon is if you had an idea of how or why the order was founded.
It's something I would like to touch on, but it's just very analytical of time.
Yeah.
Cookie, I would never. One thing I did want to touch on is what is their slogan? I think it just is "My life for the Black Oak."
That could work. That could work. I was trying to think of something more in line with their role in sort of judge and residing over the legal side of hell. But that could work as well, actually. My life for the Black Oak.
We've got a very nice. It's going to be probably very poorly formatted. So right now it's looking good. Like, like when you actually look at the article, like as an article, it's very good.
Yeah, we got a lot covered actually.
We did. We can change it now, but I'm going to just put it in here for now. My life.
Life of the Black Oak. When you're in despair, we'll be there. That's good. I like that. You can see that coming on Hell TV all the time.
Not my life, my soul, because obviously their life is. Sometimes founding date, distillation date, leader. Definitely, we need to make an NPC page specifically for the leader.
Yes.
Leader title. Like this stuff we need to flesh out. Hellforged dragons like driven mad by iron spikes. Dragon flesh holding bolted on armor and imps crawling over spikes, tugging at the stakes, driving dragon mad with pain. That sounds awful. I love it.
That's cool. I really fucking like that.
Yeah, also there's a history. Like this is the bits we can fit out as like off-stream stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot we can do that.
There's a lot, but I think
look, I have a particular dragon in mind that may have fallen to that fate, or at least
particular dragon.
Yeah, we can discuss it off stream.
Okay.
That's a cool idea because it's a concept for another day.
Okay, so I think we've got an awful lot of what we want done. Done here, which is pretty cool. I'm actually very happy with it. And I think formatting could be worked on a little bit, but comparative to last week where we didn't get a lot of typing done, we got a decent bit of typing done.
We got a lot of typing done.
We did, so that's what we're gonna call it. It was really, really fun. That we are just kind of going a little bit over what we normally intend for these streams to be. Gonna take a little bit of a minute to talk about us as a concept and a stream. So we are the Unscribe, myself and Raph being two components of that. I am the Dungeon Master for our regular game. We play every Monday at 12 PM GMT +1, and we play our Kingslayers game, which is pretty cool. We're about 19 episodes going into it next. And starting this Sunday, if you've been enjoying our Hell content going over, we're starting a mini-series with a couple guests from around the Twitchverse of the D&D community. And it is Into Osiris. This actual this realm of hell. A group of level 15 adventurers is going to be going in and figuring out why hell isn't working as it's meant to.
Yeah. Why are
It's
there
been a
so
lot
many
of fun.
devils going everywhere?
If you can, we really appreciate if you've been watching. We'd love a follow. It's really helpful to support us. And if you got Prime, that's if you can click that button, see if you've got a Prime. We'd really appreciate it. We're a really small stream, so any little Prime individual helps like that. And if you like our content, this is pretty cool right now. We've got on, we'll get this up on our Patreon if I can get it up. Let me just grab the link. We released a subclass. So we have the College of the Brass Lungs. I worked on it with Cade, one of our players, and it is a bard all about annoying people by yelling at them and being a town crier. So it would mean the world to us if you go down and click on that link and look at our Patreon. If you like the content you see there, maybe consider supporting us there. It really helps, or anything helps. But join us on Discord. Show up and we'll be happy to have you here. But get the College of Brass Lungs on Patreon. It's going to be free till about I think end of August is when I'm going to put it as. And go into Discord and tell us what you think about it. Me and Kate put a lot of work into writing that, and we got art done for it by our very own Daria. So a lot of it kept in-house with that design. And coming to our Patreon soon will be, there's different tiers right now. A $5 tier, which gets you access to our World Anvil. If you want to see what we're writing here in like the finished articles, that will be, you get access to that if you subscribe either on Twitch or to our Patreon. So if Kyle, if you're still here, you got gifted a sub. If you want to reach out to me on Discord, if you're part of our Discord, and let me know your name on World Anvil, you'll get access to our very, very nice World Anvil. You'll be able to see all this content in its final forms. And if you like that, that's cool. $10 tier if you're into maps and the such. I do a lot of the map making. I do all of the map making for our stream, and every map I make, we use week by week, gets put up on the Patreon at a $10 a month tier with various variants, sometimes ones that aren't seen on stream, and much higher res ones. Like you're talking, some of them are like 8K, 4K size.
Beautiful maps.
Very, very beautiful maps. I put a lot of work into that. And if you really want to peek behind the curtain, for $15 a month, it is a possibility to get access to my DM's notes on how a session went. Every week when we have a session, either mini-series or our own, I type up my little report on how I think it went, what they missed, what they got, what they did that could affect the future of the game. If that sounds interesting to you to get a peek into my mind, we'd really appreciate to have you. So, thanks for listening to my ramble. I know it's very awkward to try and sit here and talk like the businessy side, but we are also partnered with a couple cool platforms right now. We are partnered with World Anvil, which I think we have a command for. If you click that link, it's really good. That's what we're doing our world building on. It's super cool. Go in there and have a look at it. It's honestly a phenomenal tool set for designing your world, and I don't believe I have a link for it right now, but if you scroll down in our about section, we're partnered with Wotan Forge, makers of very high quality D&D accessories like dice vaults, dice trays, all made out of wood that's native to Australia. So it's really unique in quality. I think I might be able to get our link and pop it in chat if you give me 1 second. Just here. Does
that work? Oh, I'm so disappointed. I thought that would work.
I need to set a command. I've been working on it now. So, second. Here we are. So, here we are. No wood dice yet, but I wish they do, because I will buy them when they do. That link should work. Can you tell me if that link works?
We've put in our request.
We've put in our request.
Yes, that link does work.
Yeah, so look at their stuff. It would mean a lot to me. We're going to raid out, but thank you to everyone who stopped by to watch. This has been a blast. This new format of our world building streams has been very fun for me, bringing Raph along to help me sort through the chaotic mess that is my mind.
And hey, they're conversations like we would normally have anyway. Exactly.
So thanks for everyone who watched, and we'll be seeing you on Sunday. 4 days from now.
First episode, first session.
First episode of our new mini-series. Please show up. We've not streamed on Sunday before. Bye.
See you, everyone.